This is my BMW E46 Wagon. It's a 2000 323i. I bought it with about 218 on the clock. It was about 226. I've kept up with my maintenance of oil changes and so on, but previous owner, I cannot say previous owners did not care for this thing as much as I do, or I did. This is mostly a video list of everything that I have done and things that need to be done. First thing I'm going to point out is in the back here. Oh, this works flawlessly. However, in this corner, there seems to be a leak somewhere in the back, and I'm not sure the cause or where it's coming from. There was an undisclosed wreck. I'm not sure if it was the previous owner or the one before that. I was number 3. You will be number 4. This was a project to take a former drift car and turn it into a bit more of a daily. And I was just kind of playing with fire until the automatic transmission went. I call it a drift car because it's not well maintained. There was some steering column work that was done by the previous owner. He dropped quite a bit into it, and that's what I was paying him for. He wanted the money back for the steering column work that he did. But whatever the steering column work was, obviously it was vibration through the steering wheel, but it's the tie rods. The tie rods have to be done, the inners and the outers. The whole suspension's got to get reworked, and the rear trailing arm bushings need to get replaced. The driver's side rear brake caliper is seized. I thought it was the passenger side front due to some other just indicators, but it turns out it's the driver's side rear brake caliper. You'll need to redo all the hoses. I have the front hoses for you, but the rear hoses you'll need to go pick up and replace. I redid the fuel pump recently. The fuel filters in the back. Yeah, I picked this up to be able to haul lumber during a house renovation. It was great for hauling, 8 feet of plywood, or sorry, 8 feet 2x4s and plywood on the roof, drywall, reams of insulation, all that kind of stuff. This thing was an absolute workhorse during that time. Due to the leak in the rear windows, some things, the whole ceiling needs to get replaced. The D pillars in the back need to get replaced. That whole trunk needs to get replaced. So I suggest doing that when you're doing the ceiling. Coolant reservoir is good, not cracked. All of the coolant system has been replaced. A huge reason that I had to part with this is because when I brought it into my mechanic to get the brake hoses done and that brake caliper, we found out it was the other brake caliper, but he also pointed out my starter. And I was doing a series called Till the Transmission Goes. And when we were investigating the starter, we think something with it's not a flywheel in an automatic transmission, but basically the starter to the flywheel in an automatic, it's smooth. There's no teeth, and so you need to do a manual swap. There's no other option. Put a new starter in, manual swap it, investigate the fuel system stuff. Cooling's all great, but the reason I have to part with it is because the fan clutch needs to get replaced. That was called out at the very end of my day, and I already did that. So that indicates to me that there is a large amount of vibration in the engine bay. So you'll need to redo the engine bushings, which makes sense. Transmission bushings you'll be doing. Vanos is good. The DISA valve is good. Oh yeah, again, to get an alignment, you'll need to do the tie rods and then the rear trailing arm bushings, and then you can get an alignment, and then you can get new wheels. Like right now, dude, these tires are cooked. You're good to drive from like a few places, but I would not take this far. The electrical gremlin is not crazy. Um, Besides that, the sound system's completely shot. Um, Radio's on its last leg. The knob is pretty done, but all the buttons on the handle work, or on sorry, on the steering wheel. The electrical gremlin is sometimes it'll say that these two lights will stay. These two lights will be working and on. The turn signal won't work, and it throws a code that says that the whole thing is gone, like isn't working. That then will make your ABS sensor go off for some reason, and then the very scary transmission, the gear with the exclamation point transmission warning light, will come on then. So that I think is like there's something up with the ground wire. There's no plastic underneath here. So, and this is completely damaged. So something with the ground wire, I assume somewhere in the middle near the uh, drive shaft, like the center support bearing of the drive shaft, maybe where somewhere along there, where if the ground wire is anywhere there, I would say that's where it somehow took the most damage underneath. It was an undisclosed wreck, and I replaced the drive shaft because of a U joint and the center support bearing were pretty done. I actually got another one where the U joint is an issue, so yeah, maybe we can figure out something there. But man, they always say it. This engine is bulletproof, and it is. I bought it with a blown head gasket. It was not no pin, no issues with the cylinders or anything, so we lucked out there. I bought it with 218 on the clock. It's about 226 now, and I just drove this thing for yeah, to like go to the hardware store to pick up stuff. Um, I absolutely love this thing. It's a 323. Not very powerful, but it's way more fun. It is way more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. So just remember that. Um, there's no rust. I mean, you're getting a shell. You're getting the shell and a kind of funky smelling interior. There's no mold, but there's definitely an odor um, that could get resolved. So I wish you the best of luck.